lot of people come into this industry for the money, for the brand deals, for the exclusive events.
I didn't feel beautiful enough back then. It's not that I didn't feel confident in myself. It wasn't that. But it's the aesthetics were so different in the early parts of social media.
And I'm reading an email where Forbes is inviting me to Dubai.
You can build an audience. You can go viral. Millions and millions of views. We're seeing it. I know folks who have millions of followers and can't move a single dollar.
I love my body. Other people who love their bodies.
Right.
They're searching for, how do I manage this that I was given?
I got divorced and I was on the internet every single day being consistent with my content because it meant that much to me. Cassandra Banks is a multifaceted professional who has made a significant impact in the world of skincare and the beauty industry. As a licensed medical esthetician, YouTube creator, and skincare expert, she has built a dedicated following by sharing her knowledge and personal experiences with acne and skin health. Cassandra's journey from struggling with acne to becoming a trusted voice in skincare has inspired millions of viewers worldwide. Her YouTube channel boasts over 2 million subscribers, features a wide range of content, including skincare routines, product reviews, and educational videos on skin science and cosmetic chemistry. Cassandra's approach combines both scientific expertise with relatable, down-to-earth advice, making her our skincare sis in the online beauty community. Cassandra, thank you so much and welcome to Influenced Equity.
Sarah, thank you so much for having me.
Cassandra, you have been just an incredible force and a wonderful friend since we met. And one of the things that people talk a lot about, in addition to networking and making friendships in our industry, is they see the 2 million subscribers, they see us on brand deals, where they see us at the red carpets, they see us doing all of these things that are just so cool. But why did you decide to start on your YouTube channel?
Sarah, I started completely on accident.
Really?
I think that the subscribers or the brand deals or the connections and networking, that's just a byproduct of doing something that was rooted in passion, but also a problem. Growing up, I had severe cystic acne. And I love my mother, but she was a tomboy who rode motorcycles and raised chickens and cats. And I didn't have like a beauty person that I could go to in my life. And YouTube was really the first place that I could find community online. This was back in 2008. I would watch people like Michelle Phan or the Fowler sisters. And watching other women get ready made me feel like I was part of a community, but I didn't see my skin and my acne represented. So I started creating content on accident just to want to be a part of that community and show how I covered my skin.
A lot of times as creators or people overthink their content, as founders, this happens a lot. We're usually solving our own problems. And people tend to overthink content creation. They're overthinking, what business should I start? What niche should I start in? Will people care about what I talk about? What was it that inspired you then to continue doing it, even if you felt like it wasn't working and nobody was watching?
I think at the time that was part of the safety, right? This was 2008, 2009, over 15 years ago. There was almost safety in people don't know that I'm sharing this, because acne was my biggest insecurity. I was called pizza face, freak of nature, like connect the dots. I couldn't walk upstairs and have breakfast with my parents in the morning without putting on makeup because I felt like I was a burden to look at. I was a burden to be around because of the way I looked. And when I started sharing, this is how I cover my acne, or this is my routine and the products I'm using, it was almost a safe space because nobody knew it existed. And I think that took away the fear of performance or of who are you. I was just putting something out into the void. And in 2009, 2010, nobody knew what a YouTube was. Right. And I will say, Sarah, I actually had a period where I was embarrassed and I deleted my YouTube channel.
Are you serious?
The channel that I have now is actually the second one.
Are you serious?
The first one was Cassandra Cream Sheen based on MAC's lip products. Terrible.
So cute.
I had deleted that because I was embarrassed. And in 2010, I started it again because I had missed the comments in that community. And back to your original question, that was the answer, is that the comments in the community were so helpful. Other women were sharing the products that they found success with, something new that they saw at the grocery store that they wanted me to test and try, or talking about things that actually had made an impact for them. And in a weird way, it kind of gave me a sense of hope of maybe there's something out there that will work for me since it worked for these other girls. But it also gave me a sense of community. I was like, wow, these women don't judge me for my skin the way I'm judged at school or the way I am judged in public. I would walk into a grocery store and, there's a little boy who looks up in aisle 7. And he's like, mommy, what's wrong with her face? I felt like a monster, right? Here's a kid, he's innocent. How do you live with that? But online, I didn't get that. It was, your eyes are beautiful, or I struggle with this too. What you're saying is really impactful to me. I don't think your skin should stop you from sharing X, Y, and Z, your opinion of this product. And yeah, it was a safe space.
It's interesting because we hear the opposite, right?
I think it's evolved.
How have you evolved as the landscape of social media has evolved?
I think that quote that change is the only constant really comes into play. I'm constantly innovating. I'm constantly agile. I think that we have to be if you want to stay relevant in this industry, but also if you want to grow as a person. The things I knew yesterday might not be true anymore, or the person I am today might not be who I was 3 years ago. And I think in order to stay authentic to ourselves, we have to continue to grow with that. And social media has grown a ton. It's not for everyone in its current stage versus in the past versus what it's going to be in the future. I can't predict any of that, but I do think that we have to adapt to change, and we have to stay authentic to ourselves and our own personal changes as we go through that. I think the biggest things for me have been like therapy, and then chasing my excitement, right? What is it that each person can do to chase their excitement, to feel empowered by something? Because then anything you do, you show up with gratitude and genuine authenticity. And without those, people can see right through it.
At which point did you know you were onto something like, oh shoot, this is going to work, and there's a lane here for me, there's space here for me?
Not until recently, Sarah.
Really?
Even I was on Good Morning America in 2012 and the Today Show and Anderson Cooper. And it was a whirlwind because I still didn't feel like I belonged there. I know we've had some really personal conversations, and I've shared with you, some issues with people in my life who have been addicted to certain substances. I remember laying on my childhood bed. There's sewage leaking through the ceiling from a busted pipe upstairs from someone who was, doing substances. And I'm reading an email where Forbes is inviting me to Dubai, to come be a part of their summit and speak on panels and do these things. And I'm just like, what is my life? And I still didn't feel like I made it. Meeting CEOs, founders, being in very exclusive spaces, there's something in me that just never felt deserving enough. And so even to this day, I wouldn't say that I feel like I fully have earned it or deserved it or have made it. But I think that as I've grown to learn and love my confidence, I realize that I have something special to give to the world. It's different than what someone else might give, but everything that we have is important. And I don't want to stop this gift or this light from helping others, kind of being a ripple, maybe inspiration or even a weird permission that someone might need to see, oh, she could do that with acne. I don't have to spend 2 hours in the morning getting ready. Or, oh, she's sharing this story of this product to this person who overcame these obstacles and made it. It's okay for me to take a chance to put myself authentically out there on social media. I can't say that I have ever really felt like I had it nailed. But as I come into my own confidence, I think that narrative is starting to shift.
It's so fascinating to me because, each of the guests that I've had on, or even my own story, my entrance or my entering social media came from a place of like pain, and probably my deepest, like the place that I wanted to hold on to the most and the place that hurt the most, which was my son, who is nonverbal and autistic. And, there's a bunch of other diagnoses, but that place was so painful that I wanted to hold onto it tight. And I couldn't figure out who I was and what my voice was ever going to be, and nor would anyone care. And why would anyone care? I didn't feel beautiful enough back then. There was a space where it's not that I didn't feel confidence in myself. It wasn't that. But it's the aesthetics were so different in the early parts of social media. And I didn't feel like I fit in. I'm an introvert. I didn't speak then how I do now. I've evolved so much in the 10 years. And for most of us that I've spoken to, it's usually like a place of pain or a problem that we're solving for ourselves. And then we figure out that there is safety there as long as I have the confidence to make sure that whatever's being said, whatever is, regardless of what the comments are, I feel confident enough and I feel very sure in myself and in my womanhood, in my body that people are critiquing every single day, that I'm going to be okay and that there's somebody who can connect with me and connect with my pain, connect with, and create a community, right? But what does community look like? How do we build that? Everyone right now is struggling with building community. You can build an audience. You can go viral. millions and millions of views. We're seeing it. I know folks who have millions of followers and can't move a single dollar in engagement because they don't have community. Can you talk to us why, one, how do we build community? And two, why is it important to build it?
Community is so special because community is connection, right? And I feel like that's the essence of the human experience, is to share those pain points that you or I or we overcame, and to help others through their own journeys, or to almost have those cathartic conversations, remind people it's safe, remind people it's okay. And like you said, going viral is different than providing value. I think that's what community does. Community actually provides value. It allows you to be a part of something. And that gives you a sense of belonging and community, which are core to the human experience. But it also allows you to contribute and to give back. And I think that's why with community, you have comments, you have shares, you have those metrics that are very different than a follower count.
Right.
The follower count doesn't necessarily move dollars in the business sense, but community, authenticity, and trust does. Something else that you mentioned that I think is really important is, the aspect of, just lost my train of thought.
No,
Hang on. There was another piece of that. Going viral is different than providing value, community.
How do we build community? Because everyone wants to be cool.
Yeah.
Everyone wants numbers and vanity metrics.
I think when it comes to actually building community, there's this idea that people want to go out there and find their followers, and how do I reach an audience? It's spoken about all the time. But when I speak to people like you or people in the exclusive spaces, it's not about finding a community. Your community is out there looking for you. You just have to put yourself out there, and your community will find you. They're there. The people who are celebrating autism in their family, the people who are celebrating entrepreneurship, celebrating their bodies. You don't have to go find them. If you put yourself out there, you will naturally attract the people who are having those same concerns or conversations. And I think that the concerns are the easiest way to connect with that, because think about it. What is someone Googling or typing?
Right.
They're not searching for, I love my body. Other people who love their bodies.
Right.
They're searching for, how do I manage this that I was given? How do I learn to embrace it, right? How do I make it look a certain way? And I think that's why our acne content resonated. People were searching for how to get clear skin. And I would share ingredients that are medically proven to help you with acne. But I'd also add the narrative of what you can do for this world has nothing to do with what you look like. So even if you are breaking out, it's okay. It's normal. Here's why. And if you break down the causes or the reasoning, it doesn't become as scary. So if you want to build community, it is easy to start with a problem. Think of the Super Bowl commercials. Start with something shocking, inspirational, or uplifting, right? And from there, your community will find you. But I think in order to keep that community, you have to be authentic. You have to be someone that they are willing to come back to, because going viral is not the same as providing value.
No, I couldn't agree more. When it comes to skincare, I think about like being a woman in the evolution of my skin, and being young and dumb and sleeping in my makeup after a night out, or not knowing but not accepting that I was lactose intolerant. So having cheese in my face would break out. And then it was like, I remember having super clear skin in my early 20s, even after I had the kids. And then in my late 20s, hormonal acne. I'm like, what the hell is this? And there was no one for me to talk to, and there was nobody to, and people were mean, like you mentioned. Even as we talk about the ebbs and flows of social media, can we talk about the ebbs and flows of our skin? And why is it effing with me?
And even that process of discovery, right? What's right for you isn't going to be right for others. And if we don't have a place where we can get that trusted information, it's like we're left fumbling in the dark.
Yeah.
And I think that that is a core experience that hurts so viscerally that it does allow us to connect with others. When I meet someone else who has had cystic acne, it's like an immediate sisterhood. Because we both know what it feels like to not want to leave the house without makeup. We both know what it feels like to be isolated and alone, to pick at our skin, and even though it's bleeding, it hurt, and that made us feel like we did something, and maybe we deserved the pain in a weird, way.
That makes me so sad.
It's so sad, Sarah.
That's so sad.
It's so sad, but for that experience, it's valid, even if it's not healthy, right?
Yeah.
And I think that for whichever community you build, there are those pain points. And in a weird way, it allows you to connect with someone and see that there's hope or a way to overcome. And that's what I love about social media, is that unlike traditional media, where we're told, here's a body, here's a hairstyle, here's a face, this is what you're supposed to look like. Compare yourself to this and purchase products until you look like this, which, by the way, you never will. Compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? On social media, we're not listening to what is happening around us. We have the power in our own hands.
Yeah.
We are choosing what we like, what we share, and what ends up going viral. And that's why on social, I literally had to go through my profiles and weed out people that didn't bring joy into my feed, people who didn't make me feel good about my skin. And I started following people who had different body shapes, hairstyles, religious views, skin textures, all these things. And how freeing was that for me to see society and the beauty of it reflected in my feed? I think that was an essential step for me. But it's also important for people to realize that if you're struggling with your skin or with your body or with your appearance or something else, you have the power to vote and like what shows up on your page. And if you're looking for an expert or something, allow those experts who have those credentials or those followings or that community, allow that to be your filter, because we fear what we don't know. But if you find a community that's explaining it, you can get the information you need, it can become less scary or overwhelming. And then maybe you'll even feel empowered to share your own story and be a part of it.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. It's what resonates with me the most about what you said, and it's something that I've been saying often, that I feel like I'm not shouting enough. And I think folks who are on social media, influencers, creators, like, hear me and hear me well. If you are an influencer and you are a creator, it's not just an influencer. You're not just a creator. You are a media network. Someone was saying, like, we're the new media. No, we are media.
Media is coming to creators now. This is media.
We're finding someone who can help us with our cystic acne. We're finding someone who's an esthetician who can help us. And the thing that I love most about you is you're not specific to just, and I say this with all due respect, it's not just for your white audience, it's for the Black audience. It's like, I get to learn about the products that are good for my skin, the education, the knowledge, and the fact that it's relatable in a language that I can process and understand and is still valuable to me is so incredibly important. Can you talk to someone who's listening who doesn't understand their power, their value, their impact? And as a media network, you are the new media.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Like, honestly, on a personal level, it still hits me because I feel who I was 10 years ago and 15 years ago and what I go through. And just knowing that the knowledge that I've shared through a lot of pain and hardship, but also growth and curiosity and exploration, can help someone else or resonate with them, like, that gives meaning to it, right? And that's why the brand deals, the influencer opportunities, the parties, that's all just a byproduct of doing that core work that actually means so much. And that's why I get up and do it every day. So first off, just thank you for the validation.
You're welcome. Love you, girl.
But outside of that, for someone who doesn't realize what their impact is, remember that everyone has influence. Whether you're a mom, you're influencing your children. Whether you are a person influencing those around you, you can be a positive or negative influence. And that goes back to, are you being a person that you can go to bed at night and put your head down the pillow and feel good sleeping with every single evening? Are you waking up and being a person that you're able to be proud of? And that can be hard, and there's always going to be ugly pieces of that. But how do you work through it? And for all of those media professionals who are deciding, I'm going to take my influence and take it online, I am going to broadcast it outwards, I think there's a Venn diagram that I like to use when helping other creators figure out their voice and figure out where they stand. Because again, you can talk to me about skincare all day. I'll tell you about different Fitzpatrick types, different skin tones, different conditions, because that's my area of expertise and passion. If you ask me how to change oil in a car, an oil canister, and I'm gonna go get the olive oil from Italy and be like, is this oil?
They said it's the best.
They said it's the best, right?
It said it's on the bottle.
It's on the bottle. It's natural. Do you want it for the car? No, but I use this Venn diagram and draw two circles, right, with that overlap in the middle. And in one circle, write down, what are you an expert in? What do you know? What did you study? What do you have credentials for? Because it's important to give value, not just go viral, right? And then on the other side, what will you not shut up about? What is it that you could talk about?
Mine was business.
For days.
I can't shut up.
Right? What are you excited about? Because you bring that passion and authenticity. And that sliver in the middle is uniquely you. There's 100 people that can talk about business. But Sarah, no one can talk about business with the personal stories and the experiences that you can. So many people can talk about skincare, but no one can talk about it from my personal journey with this authenticity and passion in the same exact way. So inject your personal story with a thing that you know better than anything else.
Yeah.
And that little sliver in the middle is something that you can continue creating content or sharing around forever. And even if you're sharing information that people can find elsewhere, you're sharing it in a way that is unique to you, that's filled with excitement and genuine curiosity. And I think that's what makes a story magnetic, right? Why would we watch one movie versus another when they're all, the same, 40 different plot lines that could exist?
Right.
It's because of the way that it's told, the story that resonates with us, or the passion behind it.
But Cassandra, I have a problem. It's oversaturated. The market's oversaturated.
How many of yous are out there? Are there a million yous? I don't think so. Yes, the market's oversaturated with this area of expertise or this plot line, but nobody has your plot line and your area of expertise. And even if you could just help one person, even if you be the little ripple that gives them the permission to do something in their mind that they had a block against, or gives them a new idea. Think about it. People are like, oh, I only have, 100 followers. I'm so embarrassed to post only 500 followers. That's the max capacity of most rooms.
Bruh.
Yes. You know how many people pay to go to a seminar that can only hold 500?
Correct.
Excuse me?
Correct.
Excuse me? Not to mention, even if you're sharing the exact same information that somebody else is, but you know that it's true and you have the facts and the validation, that person who's listening, they maybe wouldn't come across it somewhere else because they were at the wrong day at the wrong time.
Correct.
You might be the right place and the right time for that one person.
Correct. Oh my gosh, I could end the episode here and just throw my phone at this point, because it's probably one of the most frustrating parts of what we do. I started IT a year ago. There are 20 years worth of other people doing the exact same thing that I do. There are many other folks who are more qualified than I am maybe on paper. But one, they're not me. Two, they don't have my lived experience. 3, they can't tell a story to my audience the way that I can. And we think because, I only have 100 followers, like you said, you can only put 30 people in a coffee shop, 50 people in a coffee shop. Oh, I only have 20,000 followers. That's an arena.
That's literally an arena.
I think we forget that the metrics are people. This isn't a number on your phone. There's 80,000 people in a stadium, in a football stadium.
And paying how much per ticket?
Correct. So if you believe that there's no space for you, you couldn't be any more wrong. The other part that I want to make sure I talk about too is having the permission to evolve.
Ouch, but yes. Growth hurts.
Very painful. I was a stay-at-home mom 5 years ago. I got divorced, and I was on the internet every single day being consistent with my content because it meant that much to me. I'm a mother. I became a single mom. I'm a special needs mom. I'm a full-time caregiver for my son with special needs. And even my thoughts from 3 years ago, my voice from a year ago has massively evolved and changed. And I started in beauty, by the way. I started in makeup. Turns out I hated the business of makeup. I was passionate, but it wasn't purpose work for me. So if I'm someone who starts in a particular industry and feel like I'm stuck and I can't evolve, or I'm not allowed to have a voice, what advice would you give that person?
If you feel that you're stuck and you don't have a voice and you can't evolve, think of yourself like a seed, right? A seed needs to push to grow through the dirt in order to bloom and blossom and see the light. Growth hurts. But remember that if you're comfortable, you're not growing. And if it's hurting, maybe that's pushing you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And like you said, stay-at-home mom, divorce, all these labels, all these things, parent of a special needs child, business entrepreneur, beauty guru. People are critiquing your body, your parenting skills, all of that. It doesn't stop. And you're a woman. And you're a woman in business who has something to say and doesn't just sit still and look pretty. Oh, the audacity, Sarah. But how important is it for other young women, other moms, other people to see you take up that space and to realize, I have permission to do that too.
Yeah.
I can do that too. It's important for me just the way it's important for her.
Yeah.
And for someone who feels stuck, let that stuckness inspire you. If you're unhappy, go talk to a therapist, dig deeper. What's the reason?
Yeah.
Oftentimes, from what I've learned in therapy or what I've heard, when we have a disconnect between what we believe in our purpose and our actions, it gives us this sense of discomfort. That's why I stripped my makeup off online. I was a model because I was covering up my acne, and I could be in magazines and billboards because I had Photoshop and makeup. but then I'm picking at my skin. I'm hurting myself. I'm being called names in school, and I hate who I am every day. That dichotomy, that hypocrisy, unreal.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking, why am I doing these campaigns and shilling clothing and products when I don't even love myself? And so I stripped it all off and I said, this is who I am. This is what I struggle with. Help. It was a cry for help and desperation. It wasn't, look at me, I'm pretty. It was, I've got my nose, it's stuffed up this morning. This is how I get through every day.
Yeah.
Does anyone have advice? Does this help anyone else? Because I need this. And there was no one in my life who I could go to for that. And so for someone else, is there a dichotomy? Is there a difference, a delta between what your passion is, who you're meant to be, what your purpose is, and what your actions are? And that discomfort, that's a little sign that it's time to shift. It's time to change. It's time to move. Yeah. Good music makes you dance. It makes you move, right? If there's uncomfort, it's time to move.
Yeah.
Start doing something where you can chase your curiosity, your passion, where you can give back. And again, a lot of people come into this industry for the money, for the brand deals, for the exclusive events, for the networking, for the fame. That's just a byproduct.
Yep.
Anyone who's doing really well, it's because, like you, they had a passion. They had something that's worth going through the negative comment section, the backlash, all of the crap for.
Oh yeah, speaking of backlash, I got some this week, but
I
knew it was coming, so it's fine.
Love it.
One of the conversations that I have often with creators is, Sarah, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. I'm burnt out. It's not working. It's not working. I'm burnt out. It's not working. And then I go to their page and they posted like once this year or this month, or it's the content itself isn't very good. And this isn't from a place of judgment. This is a place of like love and older sister advice here. I don't think people realize how much work influence is. It's not we pick up our phones. I have 2 phones. You have 3 phones. We have teams that are across the globe. We're always traveling. We don't even live in the same city, and we've seen each other 5 times in the last 2 weeks.
And I love it every second.
I know. I love it. The business of influence requires a level of dedication, commitment, and consistency that people don't truly understand. What are your pillars that you have that you could share with our listeners who are like, ooh, I want to be an influencer, and I want to be an influencer. I want to be a creator. I don't know why it's not working. Because like you said, everyone wants the brand deals. Everyone wants to be at these events where we're at. Everyone wants to be in the in crowd and the fame. But the amount of work that we do that it required to get us in those rooms, I don't know if some of y'all want this problem.
Can I be brutally honest
Please.
as always? And again, this is going to hurt. And if someone disagrees, I welcome that criticism. I welcome that conversation and feedback. But for someone who's coming to you and saying, it's not working, is it not working, or are you not working? You know, I was single for 8 years. I didn't make out with anyone for 8 years, like nothing. I was hurt. I was distraught. Found someone that I really liked, found cute, like this person's personality. Started to get to know them a little bit better.
My favorite.
You know the details here. She knows more of the details than I'll share. This person tells me, I love posting on this social media platform and sharing business insights, but I hate writing. I hate writing these articles. I hate the research that goes into it. And I was like, well, then what do you like about this? Why do you want to be an influencer in this niche space? Oh, because I like the comments. I like the validation. I was like, okay, so you like the outcome, but you don't like the work. That's a recipe for burnout.
Yes.
Hello. And like you said, people who were like, oh, I haven't posted in, 2 years or 6 months, but it's not working. Again, I hate to say this, and I know it's going to be hard, but like, is it not working, or are you not willing to trip up? Are you not willing to put shit out there and see what sticks?
Yes.
What is startup world, startup mentality? It's agile, it's waterfall. It's we're going to do things. We're going to see what works, what doesn't. We're going to innovate. Do more of what works, less of what doesn't. And honestly, this is even information that I need to take, because doing is different than talking about it, right? But do more of what works and less of what doesn't.
Yeah.
And stay true to who you are and your core values and your core pillars. But for people who say it's not working, first off, define working.
Right.
If you're filling a room with 30 people, that's pretty freaking impressive.
Right.
What is working for you? Where do you want to take this? Where do you want it to go? If you just want to make a ripple in a few people's lives, you could have massive ROI, return on investment. You could have a huge paid community that's only 3,000 or 5,000 people.
Yep.
Or you could have a reach of 2, 5, 10 million and be doing 100 million views every single month. And maybe that's your goal. Everyone's goal is going to be different. Everyone's path to success is going to be different.
Yeah.
But like you said, you do have to put in the work, and the work is ugly and it's hard. And the growth zone is not comfortable.
No.
But I mean, I think that's the issue, is that a lot of people, they want the outcome. They don't like to put in the work, or just the knowledge, the work to get the education they need. And I think one very important thing is, let me think about how to phrase this. Or for people who are willing to put in the work, are you putting in the work where it matters? There's a lot of stuff that we can waste time on. Is what you're doing today going to help you reach your goal in 5 years? And is it aligned with the world that you want to see for the future, for your children, for other people's children?
Oh my gosh, Cassandra, this is such an incredible conversation that I don't want to stop. So what I'm thinking is, are you okay with coming back for a part 2?
Let's do it.
All right, let's
Only
do
for
it.
you, Sarah.
Thank you. It's too valuable.